All right, y'all, it is time to introduce the entire gang and the Oddly Parents. So I decided that while I introduce you guys to the Oddly Parents, that I would also share tips on how to blend with alcohol markers. So throughout here and throughout the rest of the video, you will see me pairing up different markers that I use over and over with our Oddly characters, and then a close-up here where you can see I am blending 3 markers together. These are the ones that I use for my fair skin tones every time, y'all. Every time. And so the trick of alcohol markers is the alcohol, really. The alcohol can be blended. They're not like watercolor. They're not like any kind of regular permanent marker. No, with alcohol markers, that alcohol allows you to be able to blend with another marker. The trick to the blending is making sure that you're blending while that application is still wet. Like just like you see, I put down my foundation. I went back while it was still wet to put down that darker blush color that I use, so that I could blend it right into her skin as well. That is another thing. Now, the thing is, y'all, is that sometimes I don't catch it while it's still wet, and I'm still able to blend it pretty well. So don't try to rush to just blend, don't rush yourself, but because you can still blend it, y'all. You can still blend it because when you go and put another alcohol marker on top of one that's already dried, it can reactivate that alcohol, and I'm hoping I'm explaining that well. But yes, so from what I have learned, and in my opinion, you always need at least 3 markers going from light to dark, or at least 2, one that's lighter and one that's darker, because the darker one can add that dark shading to it, and the lighter one, of course, you can use for your base, highlight, all of that. So while I'm rendering her, this is the Oddly mom, and her name is Kathy. And to be honest with you guys, I really enjoyed creating the mom and dad, okay? I felt like I could just add so much character to them. And so Kathy is a baker, and she's also an entrepreneur. She has her own bakery shop, and she loves to create all of these crazy cupcakes with all these different mysterious tastes, but they're delicious, and everyone loves her cupcakes. She's always creating new recipes, new flavors, and she's just a very carefree. She has a very carefree spirit. She also is where the girls get their style from, because she has like a really cute style of her own, which is why I had to give her these cute leopard flats with these with the cutest bows on them. Okay, I love those shoes. I want me a pair. I wanted to give her like some nice curly, just wavy hair, just really carefree, messy bun. Well, really a ponytail. It's not technically a bun, but just messy hair. I wanted her looks to be as relaxed and laid back as possible, because I really wanted to be able to show that she's not like a very uptight mom. And then we have dad. And I'm hoping that you guys can see in this picture how the girls are just in love with their dad. Even our girl B, who always has a frown on her face. But dad is just, he is the favorite of all of the girls. Even though they love their mom, but daddy, they can get anything they want. They can get away with murder with daddy. Okay, this is Daddy Joe. And I am originally from Florida, and his whole character, I just knew immediately. I wanted him to be that fun dad. He has a deep baritone voice that just carries in the room. He's a big guy, but he's like Santa. He's like this big teddy bear of a guy, and he loves bright shirts. He loves crazy shirts. it immediately reminded me of like Miami shirts, Hawaiian shirts that guys wear, dads specifically wear when they are on vacay. Okay. And that is the epitome of Joe. I even gave him the Jesus sandals. Like he's always on vacay in his mind, but he has a very cheery mood about him. And he's the sweetest, biggest guy. Like I love him. All right, so now that I've introduced the parents, I don't want to leave off anything about the blending. I don't want to just, get carried away with these characters because I love them so much. I just love how they came out. I love this illustration, okay? But back to the blending. So with anything that with any color that you're using, you want to make sure that you have a lighter and a darker shade. I do it over repeatedly with every single color, and most of the time especially if you guys are ordering Ohuhu, Cali Art, Copics, any kind of alcohol marker sets, 9 times out of 10 they already have those lighter and darker sets in them. You can as soon as I get my markers, I love to break them up in colors, see what colors I'm using, and that I have. Y'all, this is why swatches is like so important, because you want to make sure that you have those lighter and darker shades to work with. It is very important. You don't want to have like a light yellow and then the only color you can use for shading is like a really dark yellow, because that's a big jump from one color, from one shade to another shade, basically. For me, you need those in between colors. You really do. So you have like the light, the medium, and then the dark. You really do. I use that in Mom's hair. I use it within the orange that I use for the girls' hair. I'm between 2 colors that I use. So even if it's 2 markers, and it's not necessarily 3, 2 still works as well. But with the blending, when you're doing your once you've set down your base, you can go back in with your shading. Now, another trick that I have learned with using the alcohol markers is adding that shadow. So when I first learned, I saw a lot of artists using like a light purple. So at first, that's what I was using. I really love that look. Now I have grown from doing that. Now I like to use my fine liner and just do like a basic black. But just like on this illustration, you'll see me go back with like a purple. Sometimes I use a light gray and go back and add that shading. I feel like that shading adds so much dimension to your illustrations. And so in my opinion, it's a must, because it just really adds so much to your illustration so that it's not so flat. And that also goes with shading, unless the style that you're going for is flat. There's nothing wrong with that either. All right, so let's talk about the application. So, and I'm talking about in reference to how you apply your alcohol markers. So for me, if you watch closely, I am moving in like a circular motion when I fill in, when I do my hair. Sometimes I will go up and down because I try to use techniques that will leave the very least amount of streaks as possible. Okay, I hate when an illustration is like very, very streaky. I really don't like that. So one thing that I have also learned from other artists, y'all, from watching other videos, is that a circular motion it creates a better application. And then you will see me do a lot, especially like on pants. When I'm doing like long legs, you will see me go straight up and down so that all of it sort of has that same application all the way across. That's what I did on Dad's khaki-ish looking pants. That is definitely a technique that I do. So I believe that it's all in your application as you're laying that color down. and you're blending. So once you have laid that base down, y'all, you go back into where you know shadows would be. You have to make sure that you sort of study where the shadows would be on your illustration, and that is where you will go in with those darker colors to add that shading. And with the markers, it does not, like when I tell you guys that this is easy, it is nothing to it. Now, of course, it takes a little practice, but when you get those markers, you should be excited. You should be ready to open them up, smell them, drop them, feel them. That is how I am. Like, I love getting new markers. So here, y'all, I'm sorry, the lighting, it is only going to be like this for a little bit, which now that I see it is not that bad, but it was literally storming outside. And so I wanted to make sure you guys could see what I was doing. So I ended up using a light overhead. Okay, so back to the blending. So I would tell you that definitely just practicing. And listen, when you watch enough YouTube videos on how to blend, you will get it. That is what I did. It is really just about being, precise. And also, y'all, I just thought about this. I love to use brush markers. I love that brush tip. It makes it so much easier to put down that, to put down that color. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really am not a big fan of the bullet nib. Now, it is all about what you can afford, because the bullet nibs do work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about your preference. My preference is the brush tip, because it works better, in my opinion. Once you have used a brush tip marker, you are not going to want to really fool up with a bullet nib. I don't know, y'all. Maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know how y'all feel, because that is how I am. I feel like I am spoiled. I love a brush tip. I feel like it just lays down better with a brush tip marker. And then you can go in, just like right here, you can see me like adding right there at her root, on like the ends of her hair, just trying to put in shadow. That shading just adds where it will be darker in real life, that is basically what that shading, you want those shadows to be seen, or, just where it's supposed to be darker. I'm hoping you guys get me. Y'all got me? Do y'all get me? Okay. I am just horrible with explaining things. I'm such a visual person. I can literally just cut off the sound on a video and just watch what they're doing. And that's how I can really pick up on how to use different stuff, unless you need to hear that verbal. But for alcohol markers, y'all, like, it's not hard at all. It is really just making sure that you have those different shades you need of lighter going into darker, in my opinion. That is my opinion, because the more you practice, the more comfortable you get with them, and the more tricks you learn on your own, that you will pick up along the way. Many artists will share with you their tricks and tips and stuff, and I feel like that's how I've learned. And then you learn ones that work better for you. Some may not. Some you will swear by, and then you'll make up some of your own. And so I feel like that is definitely how I've been, with learning how I like my own shadow. How do I like to make it? You will learn. It's definitely not hard, but it's just, in my opinion, it's just all about having those markers to be able to do that gradual shading with. The markers, they have alcohol in it, and so it makes it so easy, and so just practice, y'all. Just definitely practice. And I think that's about all that I can really say, because I'm still learning. I feel like it's been a year with me of using alcohol markers, even though, of course, now back in design school, we only had Prismacolor markers that you could work with back then. There were not a plethora of alcohol markers that you could use. So I definitely had to learn as well. So back to these characters, okay? I hope that you guys can see just how much the girls, you can tell that they love their dad. As I was saying before, he's very easygoing and they love him because he gives them anything that they want. And then I had to give the girls a dog. I had to add a dog to this family. I am not well versed on drawing animals. It is not my thing, is what I will say. So I was a bit trippy when it came to drawing this Dalmatian. A subscriber advised that in the comments, and I was like, oh my God, I just feel like that just would be the cutest thing. I love Dalmatians. I was a very big fan of 101 Dalmatians, the cartoon, as well as the movies. And so I just felt like that was really just the greatest addition to this little family. As you guys know, it's so much more in store with the Ollies. I was just very excited to finally introduce the parents of this Ollie trio. And I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know their mom and dad. Oh, you know what? One thing I didn't explain to you guys is the relationships. So for the dad, as I said, everyone loves daddy. They're all daddy's girls. And then we also know that B, she is also a rebel. She's also the rebellious one. She's the rebel. So her and the mom, Kathy, they have a very off relationship a bit. They have, they are always butting heads, and that is because B wants to do what B wants to do. So and I feel like that's typical teenager vibes. And so she's always butting heads with her mom, and she always goes behind her mom's back to get her dad's approval for whatever it is that she wants. For our girl Izzy at the bottom, she loves both of her parents. We know that she's our good girl. She keeps that between both her parents, but she knows how to pull out those puppy dog eyes for both of her parents, to get what she wants, which most of the time Izzy gets what she wants because she is so, she's really good in school. Now, Izzy does get in trouble though, because she can be a little bit of a pest. So she does get in trouble at times. And then for our girl Aubrey is definitely a daddy's girl, but she loves mom too. She is the oldest. I am the oldest out of my siblings as well. And so she's her mom's right hand when it comes to being a help to her mom. That's how I am with my mom. I feel like most people that are the oldest sibling, you have that you have that relationship with your mom. I feel like most of them that I've met, and that's what I wanted for Aubrey and her mom. Like, she loves her mom. She looks up to her mom as a role model, and that's how I am with mine. So I just wanted to give her that, that bit of story to share with her own mom. But anyway, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the introduction of the parents. You will see them more in the illustrations to come. And I hope you guys are having a good day. If you are in rainy weather as I am, I love rainy weather, y'all. I love to draw while it's raining. I feel as though it is the best time to just pull out this sketchbook and get a few doodles in. So I will see you guys. You know I love you guys. We are literally 10 subscribers away from 800. And so I will see y'all tomorrow. Okay, because your girl's gotta go. But thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, you need to hit that subscribe button. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching again.